No one opens a restaurant with a Michelin Star on the door. You have to earn it. The same is true with marketing. You can't go straight from doing no marketing at all to showing up every day with a wide range of engaging multimedia content. Yet this is often the expectation people put on themselves. And not least because they regularly hear from so-called experts that this is how they need to make it work. Just like a good chef, you have to experiment with your marketing menu. Learn what gets a rave review, what the regular favourites are, and what comes back to the kitchen uneaten. After a lot of practice and experimentation, you'll create a marketing menu that people can't resist. In case you're wondering about all these food references, it's because I've recently been watching The Bear on Disney+. It's all about a chef trying to turn around a restaurant. It's incredibly well written, and I'll be honest, it is edge of your seat stressful to watch, but really enjoyable.
Ibra, make sandwiches! Don't stop making fucking sandwiches!
Nonetheless, it is a masterclass in how every setback teaches you something and makes you better, even if you can't necessarily see it in that moment. Most of all, the show is about how much passion, belief and determination you need to get something difficult working. Now, I'm not saying that marketing needs to be that stressful, far from it. What I am saying here is that it's all about building trust. When you first start out as a coach, consultant or freelancer, it can feel really daunting. Often because you might not trust yourself. It's that imposter syndrome feeling, or fake it till you make it. It's easy to say you have to back yourself, but it's harder to actually do, especially when you're trying out new approaches. And if you don't trust yourself, it's hard to feel confident that clients will. Trust, both yours and others, is built through showing up and delivering consistency. This is true for both your work and your marketing. After all, very few people start out with a fully formed product ready to go. For most people, it's the process of trying and learning from what works and what doesn't. After years of working with coaches, this is something that comes up over and over again. This preconception that it has to be ready or perfect even before you can tell anybody about it. And this is where marketing helps. Not only with engaging your audience, but also with working towards the best iteration of your product. By generously sharing your ideas, your concepts, and by answering questions, you will start to build trust with your audience and with yourself. By showing up regularly and generously, the trust you build means that you can share the things you've been working on before they're perfect. You can experiment knowing that a failed experiment isn't a marketing disaster. It's just a learning opportunity, and it's a step towards a better product. You can evolve your product, trusting the feedback and reactions of those you trust to help you make it better and better. Along the way, you'll get a clear idea of what your ideal client wants to buy, and therefore what you want to sell them. Think of your product in the same way as you do your marketing content. Then you can be much more intentional and clear about what you're offering. Over time, you'll get clear on what you want to sell and find the audience that want to buy it. Remembering, of course, that perfect match takes time. Now, you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, I don't feel comfortable offering something to someone before it's ready. And I get that. It can be hard to put an idea out there when you feel it's not fully ready. It's easy to spend a lot of time and money offering something that you're convinced is what people really need, only to be confronted with the reality that it's not actually what people want. I dive deeper into clients' needs and wants in another podcast episode, so do check the feed if you want to find out more. The sooner you can talk about your offer and get feedback from people on it, the better it will end up. After all, this isn't just how you learn and make it better, it's also how you can build your audience, by engaging them honestly and generously. Even people who appear to have it all working, who are filling programs and have courses and books to offer, didn't start with all of this ready to go. They iterated and evolved their offer, and they're still doing so. As you build trust with your marketing, you can share your thoughts, your plans and ideas with your audience. Those who are interested, curious, and maybe even looking for just what you're sharing will happily give you feedback and maybe even want to buy it straight away, even before it's ready. Not all of the marketing content you put out there will be as successful as you imagine it will be, but the stuff that resonates, that's the process that will help you create a marketing menu that people can't resist. This has been a very brief overview of how this process works. I go into a lot more detail in my book, Reframing Marketing, a 3-step guide to effective and ethical marketing. So if you want to create a journey for your client to go on and to have more conversations with the people who are ready to do the work, then you might want to give it a read. You can order your copy directly from me at reframingmarketing.com. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope this podcast has got you thinking. If you'd like to get a notification of when the next episode is released, then simply press the follow button wherever you're listening to this podcast.